Honorable Minister of Human Resources YB Datuk Seri Saravanan, Secretary General of the Ministry of Human Resources Datuk Mut K. Razman bin Mohammed Anwar, ILO constituents from the Malaysian Trade Union Congress and Malaysian Employers Federation, excellencies from embassies and high commissions, representatives from other government agencies, civil society organizations, and international organizations, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. On behalf of the International Labour Organization, I wish to congratulate the Ministry of Human Resources and all contributing stakeholders for the launch of this first ever National Action Plan on Forced Labour in Malaysia. I wanted to join you in person for this momentous event. Unfortunately, our movements are still restricted due to COVID-19. Nevertheless, I'm most happy to be able to celebrate this occasion with you. The process to develop the National Action Plan has been a comprehensive one, spanning more than 2 years. It has involved stakeholders, including government, workers, employers, and civil society representatives. The ILO has supported the process through our project From Protocol to Practice, a bridge to global action on forced labor. This was made possible through generous funding from the US Department of Labor. Forced labor is a grave violation of human rights, depriving workers of their freedom and dignity. It has no place in the modern world. According to 2017 estimates, billions of dollars of profit are generated from the suffering of almost 25 million people in forced labor globally. Forced labor persists in conditions where there is disrespect or a lack of protection for labor rights. Migrant workers, refugees, and other vulnerable groups are often most at risk. Forced labor occurs due to low awareness among workers, employers, and the general public alike. It occurs where there are gaps in enforcement and prosecution. It also occurs where there is a lack of access to legal remedies and limited victim support. These are challenging issues that require comprehensive interventions and strong commitment. Government, employers, trade unions, civil society, and the public all have a role to play. Above all, it requires strong political will from leaders too. The National Action Plan is an important tool to prevent and eliminate forced labor practices and protect victims. It will also support the implementation of national laws and international conventions. These include ILO's Forced Labor Convention and its accompanying protocol. Developing this action plan was a huge undertaking. The process in itself has strengthened cooperation among different stakeholders. It has contributed to increased knowledge and awareness about the issues and the approaches to deal with them. Having a national action plan is an important step in the right direction towards a Malaysia free of forced labor. Nevertheless, we should not rest on our laurels. The action plan will remain just a plan unless it is implemented. This will only happen through the full collaboration of relevant stakeholders within and outside the government. The overall goal is that by 2025, the incidence of forced labor in Malaysia is reduced. This is in line with Sustainable Development Goal Target 8.7 that sets the eradication of forced labor by 2030 as a globally agreed target. Malaysia also aims to go further and faster to achieve Target 8.7 and become a pathfinder country. This is a commendable aim, which ILO fully supports. A well-implemented national action plan on forced labor will impact the lives of workers, many of whom will be prevented, rescued, and protected from forced labor. Businesses and Malaysian economy will likewise benefit. more sustainable and human rights-centered business practices will help strengthen their global competitiveness further. I would like to thank the Ministry of Human Resources for its continued partnership with the ILO. We remain steadfast in our commitment to support the government and will continue to provide technical assistance as it seeks to strengthen decent work in Malaysia. I would also like to express gratitude to our constituents from the Malaysian Employers Federation and Malaysian Trade Union Congress. Together with the Ministry of Human Resources, you have been central to our efforts to eradicate forced labor in Malaysia. Your support for the inclusion of National Action Plan on Forced Labor and the ratification of the ILO Forced Labor Protocol in the Malaysian Decent Work Country program is commendable. I must also thank our civil society partners. Your positive engagement in labor advocacy, awareness raising, and providing support services to workers must be recognized. Last but not least, our sincere appreciation goes to the US government for its support to our work in Malaysia that has led to the development of the National Action Plan on Forced Labor. Let us continue this good work. Together, I am confident that forced labor in Malaysia will be consigned to history. Thank you for your attention.